Hello, my name is Nisha Feik, and I'm here today to present about resourcing intercultural understanding on behalf of Cultural Infusion. So we're going to take a look at some of our programs that are in action to help intercultural understanding in schools. So to understand that properly, we need to really look at the spectrum that is between multicultural and intercultural. So with multicultural, as can be seen with the little dot diagrams here, the one on the left is showing us what multicultural might look like if each of those different coloured dots was different cultures. You can see that there's not a lot of communication going on between. There's no arrows there, there's nothing going in between, but they're existing side by side quite harmoniously. Cross-cultural has moved on a little bit from there because the cultures are starting to have a little bit of communication, but there's not a lot that's going on between them. That's really just a few people are communicating, and we're reaching across some boundaries at that point. And that's where I think most people are today. But when we move on to intercultural, which is where we're aspiring to be in Australia at least, and on UNESCO are as well. Intercultural is really about communication going in all directions between people, and there's a lot of empathy there, and that's all about comprehensive mutuality, reciprocity, and equality. So the UNESCO curriculum advice is that a curriculum that respects learners' cultures and prior experiences should be what is in place in schools. It acknowledges and values the legitimacy of different cultures, not just the dominant culture, and encourages intercultural understanding. It incorporates cultural aspects into the curriculum rather than having them as an add-on. There was a survey that Cultural Infusion did for UNESCO on behalf of Australian teachers, so surveying Australian teachers to see how they were adjusting to delivering Australia's intercultural understanding curriculum. So it's a national curriculum. The findings were that teachers are finding it difficult to actually teach the content because they can't really access the resources that they need. So Cultural Infusion had a reaction to this with providing resources in various ways. So we provide resources that support teachers with this curriculum through professional development and resources like digital solutions and platforms which help with a blended learning approach, combining both the technological and traditional methods of teaching. We're promoting intercultural understanding and global citizenship. So resourcing intercultural understanding happens in these ways at Cultural Infusion. So in 2022, our activities have focused on resources and teacher training. So we provide incursions with cultural presenters all around Australia. And to further extend this, we have accompanying lesson plans. We have online resources too, and our two most recent that are doing really well are Sound Infusion, which is an online arranging platform that I'll demonstrate a little bit later, and Diversity Atlas, which is a cultural, a diversity mapping tool that's being used around the world. There are also 3 more resources in a website called Learning Lands. In teacher training areas, we've provided professional webinars and workshops at recent conferences that include the International Society for Music Educators and the Vermont Music Educators Association Conference, as well as our own webinars. Here you can see a photo of one of our presenters, Mestre Formiguina, who's demonstrating the capoeira to students. This is a form that originated in Brazil and it combines a lot of different genres. I'd like to now demonstrate for you one of our resources that's online called Sound Infusion. So today we're looking at some instruments from Brazil, and I'm going to start by dragging a couple of guitar sounds that I've listened to previously. As you can see, it's a really easy experience on Sound Infusion where you just click on the sample that you've listened to and that you want to use, and then you drag it in. I'm just going to check that this is the one I want. No, it wasn't that one. Let's try this one. I think that was the contrasting one I wanted. Let's hear the first 2 guitar tracks and just see that they go together. Just press play. that sounds really good. And I've just selected an egg shaker that might complement that really nicely. And I'd like that to be across. So I've done the copy function, the duplicate function, and it's gone across. And then, because this is just a short demonstration today, I'd like to show you a pseudo sound, which is a drum sound. Let's listen to this one. Which is pretty good. And that's going to go in, I think, in the second half of that little percussion section. And that's just my short Brazil arrangement. Let's hear it. So as you can see, there are some wonderful sounds there, and there are also sounds from lots of different countries. So as you can see, each country you go to would have quite a few samples to be arranging music with, which is very exciting. This is a little bit more about one of our presenters, Wang Ting, who is a really fantastic presenter. And in this workshop that you can see the photo of, he's presenting about classical Chinese instruments, and it's very interactive, and he also teaches a traditional song to people. We follow this up with a lesson plan that involves some sheet music that he has shared and a translation of the Mandarin lyrics that he has shared, and also suggests that people go onto Sound Infusion to look at the 150 different Chinese samples of instruments that we have there. That's a little snapshot of the resources that we're providing to help intercultural understanding here at Cultural Infusion. To find out more, you can head to our website, which is there, or email us. Thank you for your time today.